using one password for
Hey,
everything.
guilty as charged.
It's not
But
safe.
it's easy to remember now.
Yeah, it's easy to remember, but it's not safe. The reason why they say you should use those uppercase letter and then use symbols and everything is that those are the hardest password that people can, like all those software cannot crack.
Yeah. People are still falling for scams in 2025, and honestly it's not that surprising because a lot of people still don't know the basics of data protection, password security, or how to spot a scam before it's too late. But that's exactly why Charles Obute is here. Now, he's a cybersecurity expert, an entrepreneur, and a powerhouse in both biotechnology and information technology. Right now, he's building MoneyMate, a fintech company that prioritizes cybersecurity. Today, he's breaking down how to safeguard your information and outsmart scammers once and for all. This is Beyond the Books. Welcome, Charles.
Yeah,
how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
I hope you're fine. I hope the weather in Abuja is not getting to you.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's better than people that is living in Jos.
No, in Jos is cold now, but Abuja is hot.
In Kano.
Kano. Because,
yeah.
And I think the weather this now is cooler than last week.
Last week
Last
Are
week
you
was
sure?
intense. Maybe you've been staying under AC. Charles is a big man. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
I'm not gonna lie. All right,
Yeah.
so we are going to be talking about the whole in and out of cybersecurity, and most importantly, we are going to be explaining it to like in a layman language. So, can you tell me like one of the most or many common scams that people fall into?
Okay. I would say that I will group everything into what's called social engineering. Yeah, social engineering, because that's the common way. That's the easiest way that most of these online traitors, or you can say scammer, or you can say attackers uses to get their victim. So in the layman's definition, so social engineering is manipulation techniques that prompt people to, try to take some actions that will lead them to exposing their personal information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's say phishing. We have phishing.
Okay.
We have whaling. We have vissing.
Please, so you have to break all these things down.
Sure. I'm going to give a brief the description of it. You say in a layman's. I've never in the course of building MoneyMate, I've been trying to like
come down to people's level.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes,
so all this phishing and all this.
Yeah, sure. So let's say social engineering is they use to exploit human error. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Like human error. Is it in a layman or?
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like your error in terms of they're trying to make you to perform some activities so that you can leak your data.
Okay.
The word of cybersecurity is always is surrounding data.
Okay.
The data that you put out there. This data we're talking about is your name, your personal information,
honestly,
your name, your date of birth,
your
NIN.
Hey. Because those are like a lot of websites ask for this.
Of course, your phone number. Because I think the phone number is one of the easiest way they can get to you.
Are you serious?
You know these generation banks, they say you want to open an account number.
Yeah.
They say use your phone number to open it.
Ha.
These days now, you can, of course now, that's what they use. Your phone number now.
Yes, I have a lot of banks that use my phone number.
Yeah, let's say for instance now, someone you don't know is meeting you and telling you, people fall for it. They will tell you, hey, what's up? They want to talk to you as a guy, and you say no. And they'll be like, okay, maybe I want to send you money. You understand? They have gotten your phone number and they have gotten your account number.
Yeah, true.
They have gotten two information.
True, that's
then
true.
Your name, once they put the thing there on the application, your name will pop up.
Yeah, because your bank account number is now your phone number, so it's even easier.
So they have gotten your name, your account number, and your phone number. Then what else? Someone can just say, okay, your email address. You know, it's some in Africa or in Nigeria, it's something that if I ask you for your email address,
Yeah.
you'd be very excited to give it to me.
Give it out, maybe a job opportunity.
Of course, of course.
Yes.
So there are still tools there. There are still tools there that you can use to get people's email address. You understand? So this information are what they try to exploit.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
And then try to make you to, you know, perform some activities. And they can get to your back end.
Yeah, you know, I have one of my friend. He had an issue, right? So he told me one day that somebody, he has never met the person, but somebody just took all of his money. So this is what happened. The person called him and said that I'm calling from the bank. My name is this. The person sounded so professional. This is my name. This is my contact. This is the name of your bank, your account number, everything. Told him all the details and then told him that your bank is being exposed. Gave him this tension and fear that in the next few minutes send the code of your, I think it's his card or his PIN, and then they'll rectify it. It doesn't have to come to the bank. And that made things easier. Like you don't have to go to the bank. And he sent it. And I'm telling you that within that period, within those minutes, all the money in the account went.
Yeah.
Like everything went.
Yeah. That's a type of social engineering that is called phishing. It's a phishing attack.
Okay.
Then under phishing attack, there's one that is called vissing. So it's the use of voice, electronic voice message to get you to perform those human error. So
Under pressure, especially.
They'll first of all they'll make research about you with the other information that they have. Then they will put you in pressure, and then when they exploit you, they will delete all contact with you. So that was what happened to your friend. Yeah. So for me, I always look at this is what we call cybersecurity a mindset.
Okay.
So what it means is that sometimes you have to think the way the attacker think to be able to know what the problem is, where the vulnerability came from.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there's this thing that another one is that any attack or any security breach, there's always an insider. It always passes through someone that knows you or someone that you have done transaction with that you didn't know.
Wait, let's pause. Someone I've done a transaction with that I don't know. I've done a lot of, use me for instance.
Yeah.
Now in Nigeria, I can say that half of the population are no longer using ATMs.
Of course.
Like the ATM machines, right? They're now using POS. So that's a transaction with people that I don't know. Okay. So am I also exposed to? Yeah,
sure. You are being exposed to it, but you don't have to be scared. There are preventive measures, and then there are still good people out there. You understand? But it's always better to be at the safer side. For me, what I look out for is prevention. Like I always look at how I can prevent. So I don't want to be in the I've already fallen victim.
Yeah.
So in terms of the technology these days, this century, technology is coming up and everyone wants to use it. So it's always good to be on the preventive part. So if we get to that side, if you ask me to that side, then I'll explain more.
Okay. So for instance, now maybe if you get like a mail.
Yeah. Okay,
let's bring it down. Now maybe people get an email, a wrong email. I've gotten so many, but luckily for me, mine goes to my spam. Okay. But some find a way to come to my primary. And so sometimes the email is telling me you've won this, you've gotten this, you have this, click the link, to redirect you to your page and claim your reward, all those things like that. Now, for instance, let's say I click the link and it has maybe for a bank information, for instance, and I click the link and I'm exposed. What can I do at that moment? Okay,
once you have already clicked the link, then if the message came through a bank that you have been banking with, and then you already clicked the link, so what you have to do immediately is that you call the bank.
Okay.
You contact your bank, tell them what you have done, or you taking your own preventive measure, you change your password. That's why using one password for everything.
Guilty as charged.
It's not.
But it's easy to remember now.
Yeah, it's easy to remember, but it's not safe. Just imagine someone now, you click that link and they've seen your password or they're able to there's this tool that's called John the Ripper.
Okay.
What they use it to do, they use it to crack a password. So if they are trying to, they are those files they send and those email links they send, it has, there's always a back end.
Yeah.
For you to, that's why I say social engineering is to exploit human error. So by you clicking that link, you're already performing a human error. So using one password, just imagine the person already had have your email address, and then in this technology that we are in now, how you sign up to pages or maybe a bank or maybe anything online is that you provide email and password.
Exactly.
So if they have your email, then if you're a person that uses one password for everything, so they'll just look for other thing that is related to you, maybe an app or something, and they'll just check it and they'll just be logging. That's how they'll be logging in.
Hey.
But if you have different password, so it's going to be contained. Your human error will be contained on that particular one. So you just call your bank, tell them that okay, this is what I've done. So they'll help you to deactivate it, and you also change your password, so that when they're trying to log in again, it's locking it for you. The system might ask them to provide the password again, and then it will not work.
Okay.
But how you can prevent that is that there's this tool. Is an open source tool.
Okay.
Open source means it's there on the internet, everybody can use it. So we in cybersecurity, we use it to check email. It is called Have I Been Pwned?
Okay.
Have I Been Pwned? So you can check it up online. Okay. You can put in when you get an email address and everything, you can put it there and check if the email address is related to any cybercrime or is a fake one. And there's this tool again that's called Virus Total.
Okay.
It's not only from email address that they can get to exploit you to perform a human error.
What else?
There's a file. Like a file, PDF file, like document. You understand?
Are you serious?
These are something.
The world is not safe again.
No. These are something that you can just click on your computer. It will install a virus on your system, and then your system has been hacked. So there's this tool that it's called Virus Total. So maybe someone send you a file, you don't trust the source and everything, you can just upload it there, and then to give you the breakdown and just to prevent the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay. So you were talking about passwords now. Now I want you to give me and give the viewers ideal way to create passwords, because when you mentioned having one password, having one simple password, I'm not gonna lie. For me, it's way easier for me to just have one password and just keep it, and know that maybe I might just add 0 to it so that it will be different. And so it's almost across all platforms. So how is the ideal way to have like a strong password?
Okay, the way I do mine, the password. Let's come back to the password and policy of maybe apps, banks app, and other financial institution.
Yeah.
They have made it compulsory that you'll be using upper class letter, then uppercase, then numbers, then symbols, so that it can be strong.
Okay.
So in terms of when you put an easy word and everything, they will reject it.
Okay.
So when you adopt, the tradition of using different things that you can remember, you can just think of, maybe now you're the one that goes to the village, or your grandfather's name. You understand? You just mix it with your dad's name, maybe your dad's middle name.
Okay.
Then you mix it with one letter.
But we are opening accounts almost every day.
Yeah.
So how do we keep up with all these passwords?
Okay. Let's say your native language.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You can have a particular word in your native language. If you're lucky enough, you speak different languages, you can be using it. Okay. You just know that if you remember this thing, it's
not going to be as simple as using your phone number or using your first name and your date of birth or something like that.
That one is very easy, because technology is evolving, growing, and that's how the other part of it, which is the red part of it, the red part of it, is also increasing. So they keep evolving also to there's a software that someone can put in just your name, and some of your other details will pop out.
Yeah.
Because you will not know where you have signed up, where you have signed up on some things and everything.
Everything just links, especially when you use like some of these AI softwares for research.
Yes.
What has been going on around the internet lately is people are saying, I can't remember, I think it was last year or so, when people say, tell ChatGPT to tell you about yourself. I did it, like, bruv, I cannot lie. The amount of detailed information it gave about me, because those were like the things I was giving it indirectly. I'm not just giving the software now, I'm talking every other platform. I was putting my detail here, and it collated all the information from, I'm talking Instagram,
of course,
YouTube, all platforms, and it brought it together, and it told me who I was.
Of course, now if you type your name now on Google search, it will bring out your Instagram, your X, your LinkedIn, everything.
Oh my God.
You understand?
Yeah.
So the AI ChatGPT is doing a good work. Then we should be more concerned about the other aspects of it.
Yeah.
Your data is out there. You understand? So that's why I said everything about cybersecurity, threats, and vulnerability is the data we push out there. You understand? The data that we push out there. So if we can contain that, can contain the data that we push out there, I think we'll be on a very safer side.
Yeah. Okay, so on the password stuff again now. So those, why do those bank apps, or maybe where we're signing online, you mentioned that they will ask for a stronger password now. So what's the point of making us use symbols?
Okay.
Is there like a significance of using symbols? Why not just letters? Why are they asking for like underscore or star or hash or something?
Yeah, because reading, that John the Ripper is a software.
Okay.
I have played around it.
Okay.
It is. There's this other software that is called Matigo.
Okay.
It's used used mainly for the ethical hackers. So what that does is that it can fetch data. You understand?
Okay.
It's just like ChatGPT. It can guess. You understand? And there's one kind of attack. It's called a brute force attack.
Okay.
So that brute force attack is a kind of guessing, trial by error. You understand? So now I have your email address. I want to log into your bank account. Someone wants to log into there. So I'll be trying. I've already seen your name.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, your password will be around this thing. So I'll be trying to, that's what's called a brute force attack. So the reason why they say you should use those uppercase letter and they use symbols and everything is that those are the hardest password that people can, like all those software cannot crack.
Yeah.
Imagine if you use maybe your grandfather's name, maybe your dad told you about your grandfather, great-grandfather, maybe when he was born and his date of birth and everything, you just mix them. You just mix it. Maybe how it can be easy is that try and those names and everything, try and form a word with it.
Okay.
You might want to say art, but it's the art symbol you are putting there.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
You won't to use any other thing.
Just use one of those symbols that, okay.
Yeah. So the bottom line is that the reason why they say you should use all those symbols and everything is that those softwares, it is very hard for them. Even if they are going to attempt it, it will take them years to,
before they can break into that password.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's just like, let's say, encryption. You understand? Using the encryption technology. So it takes a whole lot of effort, a whole lot of trials, a whole lot. Before they can. But if it is just a word,
it'll be very simple. Okay, now I get your point.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to change it.
Of course, you have
I think I have to change it because I think it's linked to like major parts of things that I my banking app and lots of things like that.
It's not a good practice.
It's not a good practice. All right, I've learned. Yeah. Okay, so now I have another question now. How do I spot scammers attempting, like on social media or emails? How do I know that this is different from original stuffs? Whether people that are asking for money or anything, how do I just identify scams?
Okay, is it on the okay? Now we are talking. Is it on the financial sector?
Okay, let's say social media.
Okay, social media. Okay, I'll ask you a question.
Okay.
Your bank, have they ever messaged you on the social media?
No.
Okay. There's this thing that attackers do. they tend to they always want to create something that looks similar, but there's always a loophole. So it's just about you being careful. You understand? They might want to say, even though they say fact news, they will do maybe fact. They will put another T at the end of that fact. So you have to look very well. They will use the same color, the same branding and everything. But if you look closely, there's always a loophole. You might see factnews.com. There might be factnews.net.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So the way we can prevent that is that we have to educate ourselves. We have to go into just simple research. They are messaging you. So these people are messaging you. Don't get all excited. You just have to relax a bit. Relax. Then you can check, and maybe you search and see you can also search and see the main page
of
that organization.
And I think maybe Instagram has helped with verification.
Of course. Even if it's not verified itself, you check, you look at the number of followers, you can look at the activities and everything. You just go through, do some personal research. You understand?
Yeah.
It's going to help you to know that, okay, this one is real and this one is fake. But there's always, maybe now you're using your email address and factnews.gmail.com. You always see them, they want to do the same thing, they'll bring out the same name, but there's always something. They cannot get that particular Gmail or that domain name, because in domain name, the service and providers for domain name. So once you have bought that domain name, another person cannot use it.
That exact one.
Cannot use it.
All right. Yeah. So now you mentioned some parts of some ways in which, you mentioned one way in which we can the aftermath of getting scammed. And you said for banks now, you said blocking, going to your bank, and then is there any other thing again we can do? Are there like things we can do at our reach? You mentioned going to the bank, making confirmations. Are there things we can do at our reach, like immediately we realize that, oh, I've been scammed, immediately realize that I've given out my details to the wrong person, or immediately realize that I clicked on the wrong website? Is there any other thing we can do aside going or calling? Okay,
the email address is still logged, that you're using registering is still logged in your phone.
Okay.
So the best thing you can do immediately is just change the password.
Okay.
Change that password immediately.
Okay.
You understand?
Change the password immediately.
You change it immediately, and you try and call your bank so that they can also block anything from the back end. So this is why it is very important to be on the preventive side. You understand? You try to prevent it. You have to be calm. Your bank can never call you. They always say that your financial institution that you're banking with, they cannot call you and tell you that I'm calling you from this place and try and do this thing. Is this your account number? Does your name end with this? They cannot do that. They won't do that.
And I guess two-step verification and authentication also helps.
Of course,
right?
Yes, of course. Then another thing is your KYC policy.
What's that?
Okay.
I told you we are breaking things down.
Yeah, it's
right.
know your customer.
Okay.
Like when you are signing up on a platform, on an application, they will get your details, your name, your first name, your last name, your phone number, then your email address. Then you try to see how you can modify that. You just have to be fast. Then this other one called two-factor authentication.
Okay.
So it is a second layer of verification. Okay. So you always, once you are signing up on a platform, you go and
do that. I think it's on most of the social media platforms now.
You go and activate your two-factor or multi-factor authentication. So what that does is that they will ask you, maybe they has this there's these apps like Google Authenticator. Then they want to, before someone can log into your details,
you get a notification,
and then they'll ask them to provide a code. It generates a code, so that way you can stay very
and
protective.
The code even expires.
Yeah, it does expires. Yeah, it expires like
quickly.
Maybe seconds or something. Yeah. So when you have been breached, so the first thing you do is try as much as possible to change the password immediately. Then when you change the password, then call your bank. I feel like if it's related to bank, just call the bank immediately. When you know that, call the bank and say this is what I've done, and they can block it from the
help
back end.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I think I've learned so much already, but I have also another one again. What's one for me now if I want to learn security habits? What is one security habit that I should learn, I should take up now, that people should take up now? You know, you mentioned that as much as technology is advancing, a lot of cyber crimes is also advancing and they are doing a lot. So, for instance, I did not study cybersecurity, have no knowledge, ground knowledge, but what is one security habit that I should take in moving forward?
Okay. That one is, that's why I said, educate yourself.
Okay.
It's not, don't get excited about the whole new technology. This one has come out, you want to try it in. This other one, you have to, what is that thing that you know that, okay, before I provide these details to this organization, how am I practicing this in a safe way? It's not just they say you have to log in and provide you just simple provide the username and everything. You educate yourself. I think you read about things online. So if we can educate ourselves and know that just our name, if for instance, if you travel abroad, maybe you go to this developed country, just your last name, they can know things about you. So for them, it is very hard for them to tell you their names and everything. They can just tell you, can call me this, call me John. You understand? Because they know that if you know